And we're back. I was trying to see if Miguel there for the 10-second silence. He was trying not to gulp. Yeah. I could hear you in the back.
Yeah, I really wanted to.
We were all struggling.
Oh, is that ASMR? Oh, it's shit. I really wanted to.
I was so close to doing ASMR on the radio in Bahrain, like on the station. I didn't want to do it now.
Are there mics that sensitive?
Yeah.
Really?
Especially the guest mic is really sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah,
why would they leave the sensitive mic? That doesn't make sense.
I think it's supposed to pick up the rest of the room.
Yeah, what the fuck? You're supposed to be the one who knows about the mic.
No, they don't let me learn. No, that's not how things work there.
Oh, okay.
One day. I'm trying to teach myself. That's the whole idea.
Okay.
I've done like a course online that learning on Linda.
I mean, I think you're doing a pretty good job with the mic over here. So
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That's practice for you. That's why I've been doing it more frequently. It's all for Khalid's mic practice.
That's it, airtime. Get as much of my voice out there. Speaking of, guys, thank you for tuning into this podcast. I appreciate a lot of the feedback we've been getting recently.
Yeah,
a lot of people. And I want to just say for the last episode, there's been some good numbers, especially on Spotify. I know there's been an issue on Anghami when it comes to actually loading up the older episodes. I can tell you I've been trying to get in touch with them about this for like 2 weeks. Their response time is terrible. They have bad customer support that literally said, hey, the episodes are there. I was like, yeah, I know they are. The last 2 are active. Screenshot, here's the ones that are not active.
Is it because they're really new to the whole podcast scene?
I don't know. I think that customer service isn't the first thing they think of. Because most of the people that are uploading music, right?
They think about their ads more than their customer service.
Ooh, don't talk shit about them, dude. They might take us off.
No.
I mean, look, it's not just me complaining. It's a lot of people that have Anghami. They complain.
That's very true.
Yeah, fucking Anghami. Sorry, I don't even know it.
I love his 180. Like
I don't even know that fucking website.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
So that being said, I also heard from Beda today that the iTunes is still having that issue. That is from the audio version of it, but you guys don't forget Spotify is available. It seems fine.
Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher,
all that is there.
all that is over
I'll try
there.
to push the feed again for this one, so hopefully we get things sorted out. And of course, guys, we're going to be having a few episodes coming up. One with Mike Donovan next week.
Yeah, Mike Donovan. You'll just love his voice, Mike Donovan.
You
Very
will.
unique voice.
An expat in Bahrain. That perspective, we keep getting different kinds, but we'll see what happens when we get a white guy.
Yeah, never had a white guy
Never.
on here.
Not once.
Not on Banter Buddies, at least.
No. But he's a pure Bedouin at heart.
Yeah, he is.
He's done it all.
He's like the most Arab white guy I've ever
Right?
met.
Call him the Lawrence of Arabia.
He's more chicken nugget than I am.
All right, so we got that, and then we got after I go on break for a bit. We're going to try to record a few episodes whilst we're on break. Then I'm going to be coming back, and we're going to do a special Star Wars episode
Yeah.
because we wanted to talk about the Mandalorian last time, but we realized we're just going to spoil things for people.
Yeah, with The Mandalorian, we're really tiptoeing because you can't guarantee that a lot of people have seen it, especially since it's not available on
Yes.
in this region, at least with Disney Plus. So you gotta set sail
Definitely.
and watch it. But episode 9 is coming out soon.
Yes.
No Better's been very excited about that.
Man, I'm just waiting for Disney Plus to actually come to the region. It's worth the money.
Are they releasing the movies like that quick after the do you think they're going to not do the DVD period like after the movie's out in cinemas for a while they immediately go to Disney Plus?
Wait, are we talking about the Mandalorian or are we talking about...
No, then episode 9.
Oh, no,
That's what he said.
I was talking about the Mandalorian.
No.
Okay.
We finished from that point because there's not much we can say without spoiling anything.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
And speaking of, that's going to be the thing because we want to wait till after everybody's seen the movies. And the movie's controversial because apparently, like we mentioned before, they were
Just remembered you. They can fly. The invitation.
that trailer's it's just wrong.
Wait, someone can fly? There's a Jedi that can fly?
No, there's a teaser trailer that came out about a week ago. It was so bad.
Imitated
They
the
can
trailer.
fly. They can fly.
Oh, okay.
It's so bad. Like I feel nothing for these characters. I'm hoping that the movie changes my mind. I know some of you are huge Star Wars fans that you listen, and I know you like the movies. I can't tell what's going on with them. The story doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm hoping there will be sense right at the end.
I've been racking up a lot of criticism about the new trilogy, but I think I'll just save it for the Star Wars episode.
We're turning this one into the Star Wars episode indirectly.
I know, we're trying. We're
going to get to it, guys. We're going to get to it. We have Noor Nuruddin, hopefully, who's going to be here. She's going to have the opposing point of view to me.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be the fan of the previous movie, so we'll get her opinion after you guys have seen it. There's been a break, and then we can talk everything Star Wars without spoiling.
Exactly.
So, now we're getting back into normal issues that are kind of geeky related.
Yeah, kind of. And relating to Disney Plus as well, I think.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, even the Star Wars thing, because that was the criticism people had at the Han Solo movie. There's been a lot of what people, like I mentioned before, YouTubers that get outraged over, geeky content that becomes political. And let me just say this right now, guys. I don't have a problem with wanting to send a positive message. All right.
Yeah.
You want to encourage people. You want to, promote some kind of awareness about something, culture,
inspire, all that.
anything. That's fine. All right. But just some of it hits you on the nose. It's like really, like it's not right on the nose. It's like they're beating their dicks on my nose, trying to let me know. Yeah. This is why some of these YouTubers make a lot of money, just basically bashing either Star Wars or some other movie that's promoting feminism. Let's say Captain Marvel, whatever it is.
Okay.
And I don't want to jump on the hate train. I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to be like a millennial that's getting older and older.
I think that's my job at this point, to be the hater.
I think maybe this is the one issue I will probably surpass you on.
Yeah.
But this is a question that came out for us from Ibrahim.
Ibrahim on the radio, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he basically, I think Ibrahim was talking about the introduction of a transgender superhero in a Marvel comic book. Mm-hmm. So just to give you guys some backstory over this whole thing. So Marvel is doing like a documentary where they on Disney Plus, I believe, where they're approaching real life kids with like disabilities or some people who are some children were blind, some were disabled, and they basically interview their friends and their families over the course leading up to for example, like a speech or a campaign or a protest. So they and then after the documentary ends, they hand them a comic book with their image used as a character, as a superhero.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
So they targeted. There was a disabled engineer, a blind athlete, and a young boy who rallied his town against child abuse. And honestly, like this article that I read is extremely interesting because it says here, I'm quoting, "The connection to Marvel Comics characters are not much of a stretch. Iron Man is a guy who turned to engineering in the face of a medical disability. Daredevil and Hawkeye are superheroes who sometimes struggle with not being able to see and hear. And Captain America's ability to inspire those around him is one of his most consistent, not exactly superpowers." Yeah. So they're basically seeing real life heroes in children. And I mean, honestly, this is very heartwarming. I mean, if you would have to be a complete and utter douchebag to say anything, to the contrary.
Absolutely.
But
people like representation.
Well, now you're limiting my capabilities of saying something.
No, I mean, you can't, I mean, come on. It's a blind kid. Come on. It's heartwarming.
Fair enough. That
right?
is true.
But the controversial topic is they approached a 12-year-old girl who is a transgender or trans rights or LGBTQ activist. And towards the end of her episode, they introduced a transgender Marvel superhero,
right,
in a comic book. So that's been the topic of discussion.
Now, I'm just going to full disclosure, guys. I didn't look into this enough. This came at me from Ibrahim. I didn't have the time to do the full research, but Matruk was on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you questions about it. And then I'm going to, based off of just my general inclination to a lot of this, what seems to be affirmative behavior that wants to be positive and progressive, kind of finding its way into pop culture and mainstream stuff, right? So,
direct the questions to the guys as well.
Yeah, please do. Definitely. Even to the rest of the guys. I'm going to jump at Miguel and Bedr in a bit.
Oh, yes, please.
I want to know, this kid is 12, right? Mm-hmm. And the kid is transgender.
Yeah.
And is
she trans? I'm not sure she's trans. Oh, yeah, she is a transgender girl and an LGBTQ activist.
All right, there you go. So to me, right off the bat, that is a good, positive move. But is that too obvious? Like, is that? And let me explain myself here before some people, because I know there's people for and against this. Even in our part of the world, there are people that are progressive, but they're not that progressive. So I want to address both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I see what you mean.
Yeah, they're
progressive for this area.
Yes, exactly. Because we know our friends that are liberal or classic liberal Arabs they're not liberal by Western standards.
No,
right? No way, right? They're just getting in tune with gay rights. They're not ready to kind of go through the rest of the alphabet.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of catch up in that way. My problem is there are a lot of movies and comic books and stuff that just seem to be pushing it for the sake of pushing it because it's popular. They don't actually, I don't feel like they believe in these causes themselves. I feel like they just want to be on the trendy wave. And it annoys me because they sacrifice good writing that would have convinced people and instead are trying to bash you on the head, tell you that you're a bad person because you don't agree with this, which to me creates more enemies for the cause. It doesn't actually get people on board.
And one thing that people don't seem to understand is that Marvel has been very subtle in sort of hinting at, their support for the LGBTQ community. They have a bunch of characters that are very, on the line gender, what's the right word? I think it's gender queer or something like that. And one of the biggest examples is Loki. Loki takes the form of a woman when it suits him.
He's very low key.
Yeah, he's very low key.
How long have you been waiting to use that?
So long. You had no idea.
He's Loki's low key a girl, something like that.
Okay.
So my point that I made when I read this article, was why couldn't they keep it subtle? Like instead of involving a 12-year-old girl who, let's face it, will face some bullying because some people are just assholes. You know what I mean? Why put a spotlight on a 12-year-old girl?
That's one thing. The other thing is that since when do I listen to a 12-year-old about something like that? Like when I was 16 and I believed in some stuff that today I regret.
Yeah.
That I was just dumb. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Like, so why would I believe that? Like, I want us to be supportive of the movement and the cause, the idea behind it. I don't want to press people. But a 12-year-old can't make up their mind about which Skittles they like.
Exactly. That's the thing. I mean, we all had our phases. We all had our beliefs when we were, 12 or 13 or teenagers. I believe that heavy metal was going to change the world, and it's the way forward. You know what I mean?
Are you officially saying it isn't?
Yeah. No. I am. I'm officially saying heavy metal is a cool genre, but it's not going to change the world.
Did it change your world, though?
To the worst, yeah.
Oh,
to the worst, yeah.
Why did it make you more
I was such a cringy and edgy kid you don't even know, man.
Was.
It's like edgelord.
There's still like traces of it right now. You can never get rid of it.
Me too, man. I don't know what it is. At some point it just snapped, I just became more emotionally stable.
Right?
And that shit just
What is your guilty pleasure? Your edgelord guilty pleasure?
Yeah, when you were a teenager.
I was just a very angry child,
Right.
Like mad at everything, everyone. You know what I mean? And that doesn't make for like a good person to be around.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I know what you mean.
Okay, so are we all assholes in this table?
Better gets it because he still feels that way.
I still feel angry about everything. It's actually, if anything, I think this is, for me, it's progression. Because I started off as a depressed kid that grew up to be angry. So
yeah, you sort of break out of that shell. You're a phoenix.
I'm
rising from the ashes.
Why am I feeling bad? Everybody else should feel bad. Let me start complaining about everybody.
I'm the opposite now. I feel like once I've mellowed out, I'm like a little bit... Anyway, let's go back to this transgender.
I don't think he wants to get into it anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
That's fair enough. But you see what I want my point, right? There's a lot of aspects to this that just doesn't feel like good writing. And that's what bothers me. Like, I always bring up this point of view about... Like, if I'm going to find a parallel in something else, we brought it up with, you remember when we were talking to OJ about horror movies? Not horror movies, good sci-fi.
Yeah.
And good female characters.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, you look at female heroines, there are female characters that I don't believe are powerful women.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You're just not good at it. I'm sorry.
The biggest example was that purple-haired chick in Star Wars Episode 8.
Yeah, Laura Dern.
Yeah.
That's the actress, right? Laura Dern.
Biggest example.
Laura Dern, famous actress, but she's not believable.
Yeah.
No, that's not my issue. I can't remember the character.
Oh, exactly. There you go.
No one can.
I'm not even making a statement.
All right, so name 5 of the characters in the new Star Wars movies. There you go.
Ray.
No, Ray.
one.
I just forgot her name, honestly.
That's fine. That's the one that everybody knows.
Kylo Ren, or
right, that's
Kylo
true.
Ben, as I like to call him.
The other ones?
The woman who gave her the lightsaber.
The woman, what's her name?
BB-8.
That's a droid. I like that you're inclusive.
No,
that you
don't
allow
get me
droids to be in people. So that's good.
Don't get me wrong. I love Star Wars. It's just the names I have a problem.
So even in the older movies?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Anakin.
Okay, so
I have this in my normal life.
thought I was gonna make a
names is a
point.
problem with me. Like I can't even remember names.
Oh, you have that same problem Brad Pitt has? He's like an asshole, basically. It's like, I have that condition where I don't remember faces. This is something he actually said.
I have that. Where
you
it's so
don't-
hard for me to remember people's names.
Really?
And some people tell me, no, dude, it's just because you don't care. So recently, I've been trying to make an effort to remember.
Well, it depends on the level of not remembering. If you've had long, intimate conversations with somebody, then that's a different story than like, hey, how you doing? Mo?
No, like,
and you get in that situation where it's too late to ask.
Yeah.
that's
Because
the
you had
worst.
too many
I got a trick
conversations.
for you. man.
because
What is it?
I got a trick for better.
What?
Ask them to spell their name.
Oh,
Hey man, how do you spell
unless
your
it's
name?
Mo, then
What I do is like I actually try to get my cell phone out and
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, bro, I didn't get your full name last time. Could you because I always get the first name. You never always get the full name.
Yeah.
It's like I need to add your name to the. Can you just give me your full name? And they're not gonna go last name first.
Yeah.
They're gonna go full name first. So they're gonna go first name as well. So
Sure.
Mo,
Whatever. Yeah.
if you call yourself Mo, just like shoot yourself, please.
Apparently-
Why do you not like when people?
I hate it when Mohammeds call themselves Mo. It is like the cringiest shit
There you go.
ever.
There's the hate.
Hi, my name is Mo. Like, no, you can't even pronounce it correctly.
No, I've got one that's worse. I worked with somebody whose name was Muhammad,
Yeah.
who called himself Bobby.
Bobby. Wow.
What?
Yes, I wish I was making a joke. Like, there is literally
Nobody's allowed to do that unless they're Asian. Like, unless you have a really difficult name to pronounce and
Yeah.
you're like, I hate people mispronouncing my name, then you can call yourself Bobby.
It's just, it's.
How do you go from Mo to Bobby?
That's the question.
Muhammad to Bobby. How?
That's the question. Like, go with one letter at least, you know?
Nothing.
know?
It's the O. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah, but a vowel. Okay, there you go. You got a vowel in between those two.
No, I hung out with someone last night, like for a full about 4 hours, and I did not remember their name today.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did not remember their
That's
name.
weird, bro.
I know.
4 hours?
Apparently, a trick
Because that was-
is to imagine you writing their name. If they tell you their name, like you're supposed to imagine writing it out, and it's supposed to help you.
This is his sociopath skills.
Bro, like, but like, what if
This is how he is like. This is how he fits himself in as a human.
what if you can't even understand your own handwriting? Like, what do you do then?
Quickly smile. This is what they do in this context.
Smile, nod your head. Everybody's
Why are
laughing.
you
Ha, ha, ha.
smiling? I'm
No,
talking
'cause-
about my dead aunt.
Because in this part of the world, a lot of people.
Let's just acknowledge what he just fucking said. So when the first time I got on this podcast, he saw me as the dark one,
Yeah,
right? Now it's him saying crazy shit. So
I told you. Listen, they can't judge us. These two, every now and then they'll like act like, no, we're super serious and we're respectable people and we love everyone.
yeah.
Quickly, they found you out. Talk about Trump. Quick segue.
because I think it's a phenomenon, right? In this part of the world, a lot of people call you by your last name.
Yeah,
It's like
this
a lot
is
of
Bahrain specifically.
Yeah,
does that.
like some people don't know that my first name is Ahmed. Everyone knows me as Matrouk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's your name? Like Ahmed. I'm like, oh, really? Like, yeah.
You know,
come on.
I thought it was like a Japanese thing. Like Japanese do that as well.
Yeah, they do. They always introduce. I think the Japanese always introduce themselves with their last name
Yes,
first,
yeah.
and then their first name.
But then I found out it's just a cultural thing behind it. The kids do. Yeah, it's like, oh, Dossy.
Dossy, yeah.
So, quick question. The Japanese, do they refer to each other by their last names?
Yes, most.
So that's not just an anime thing.
I think it's a sign of respect, though. It's like
so calling you by your clan rather than.
It's like your formal name. Like when
Yeah.
you talk to somebody in a formal fashion, that's the name they use.
I feel like guys, we've deviated a lot from this.
We did. How do we? We
Marvel thing.
started with transgender people and
Yeah.
we got to Japanese people.
Japanese people somehow.
You know, that's a good actually tie-in because you know what I like about the Japanese?
What?
When they're always asked about like, you know, transgender rights or gay rights or anything else, they always go, we don't have a problem. We don't even think about that.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
we don't care.
Let them solve the fact that
Yeah.
their population is aging right now,
Yeah.
and then let them concern themselves with trans
But
rights. or all
legitimately,
that.
they've never had the conversation. They just generally don't care, and they're a pretty conservative culture. You know what I mean?
There's this one phenomenon.
Wait, hold on. I think Miguel is trying to say something here. He always wants to jump in on the Japanese.
no, because here's the thing, right?
Typical Filipino.
Dude, I want to get some revenge for
Go ahead.
World War II. Listen, Japan nowadays they're like a very conservative country, but you see the things they've done in history, and it's like really weird shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think they can't really judge transgender people or LGBT community
Oh, you think that's the reason?
because they make tentacle porn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen those ancient scrolls with like the I'm not joking. This is real. There's ancient scrolls like with the old school like art with like a tentacle monster that's
Holy
like
shit.
going after a chick.
Yeah,
like an old school
no.
octopus. Just like
I mean, I think at that point we just have to address that before you address trans.
So you have no right. You have no right to judge anybody.
right.
Like,
if you're that weird overall for so long, can you even judge people?
Exactly.
The pagan world was really weird, bro. It was really like we were a lot weirder back then than we are now. For like more time, for a lot more time, we were a lot more weirder.
I think we didn't know we were weird. You know, nowadays I hate it when people say I'm so weird, I'm so quirky. Like, no, you're not. You're just basic as fuck. You're just like every other one.
You know, you won't last a day in Rome. The shit they do with a grape, you don't even understand. Sorry.
So, anyways,
What's up, Bedouin?
You had a
when we
serious point to make.
Not a serious point. I'm actually curious about one thing. The Japanese have this phenomenon, right, where they have people who are literally asexual.
Yeah. But that's no longer a Japanese thing anymore,
I
isn't it?
can't-
Like, a lot of people in the world
did it
are like
originate there though?
They-
that. Well, I think, yeah, it's a
it
lot more
seems to be a
common.
problem there.
A problem?
Is that why
Yeah.
it's aging? Their
Yeah,
population's aging?
you know, I'll put it bluntly. Young people aren't fucking.
Yeah.
They're just not fucking. Seriously.
You know,
Thank you for putting it so eloquently.
Yes.
precisely. But that's the issue, right? Like, but I don't know if that's an excuse when you say you're asexual. I think they know they can't afford it. Their lives don't allow for socializing, and then the barriers of socializing are so difficult. That's no different than, by the way, in our part of the world, that was very similar to some of the excuses younger men in Saudi were giving for not getting married. They were saying, "Man, one, I can't afford it, not just because of the lifestyle. No, he's talking about." You know, what it costs to have a marriage, what it costs to give the dowry, what it costs to do all the things that you're expected to do when the bar and the level of expectation is set so high by people
Yeah.
that spend thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, even then, and they don't necessarily, they're not necessarily going to meet somebody that they feel like they know that who that person's going to be. It's like you're spending all this money to buy a lottery ticket that's already fucked. You know what I mean? Like, it's already working against you. The odds of you finding somebody that will be, you'll click with.
You bring in. This is such an interesting topic that I actually feel like it deserves its own podcast. I mean, like its own episode.
Yeah.
Which one is that? Marriage?
Yeah, like the whole dynamics of marriage, like the dowry, like how some people can't afford it, the reason people get married.
I don't think I'd want to be in that episode because I'm like the furthest away from marriage.
But you're the perfect.
Exactly.
You're the perfect guy because
A desirable bachelor
well, that's the thing. That's
with bank statements.
you use the plural there. Huh?
Every time we record, he adds one.
I was gonna say, like, people your age, guys your age, in general, I don't know if this applies to the girls. I'd like to know actually if you're from the opposite gender, or any gender, whatever you.
Yeah, please chime in.
Chime in. Let us
your,
know how you feel
thoughts
about this stuff.
on Khalid's account at kdossy Dossy, on Bedouin Banter at Bedouin Banter on Instagram. Please
You're giving him more work to do.
give us your thoughts. No, he'll just receive the message and send it to us. Yeah.
Don't forget to follow the Bedouin Banter account,
Yes,
please, guys.
please.
We do need the traffic over there.
Extremely active as well nowadays.
Yes, it is. All right. So that being said, somebody your age has like I said, it's like buying a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Lottery ticket, you're going to lose most of the time, right? Most of the time. That's what I'm saying. The odds are not working in your favor because you don't know anything about the person you're going to marry most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it in context, I mean, you got to put it in context for anyone outside of
Traditional
GCC.
weddings, I'm talking.
Yeah, traditional weddings where it's like basically an arranged marriage. Not really an arranged marriage, but like you don't
An
really
introduction
Yeah, you
marriage.
don't really date the person beforehand. It's like you don't date for 2 years and then get married. Over here, a lot of marriages, it's like, okay, they would introduce you to the girl and you'd sit down very awkwardly with her and then you decide, okay, maybe we can make this work out. You get engaged.
Yeah.
And then you get married. That's
See,
the
that's
process
the thing.
generally.
That's the thing where Westerners kind of, and people, you can argue this against me. You can say I'm wrong about this if you want, but they have an advantage when it comes to actually knowing the person really well. So let's assume it's not a sham. It's not one of these relationships that are just a hookup. These are people that are serious about each other. You get to know certain things about your partner or significant other that will really, really tell you whether or not you want to be with them for the long term.
Yeah.
All their messed up dark shit, things they aren't going to tell you, just the annoying habits, the fact that they might not have their life together as far as taking care of a house or managing the family or managing their time. All these small things make a difference.
And
I
I
mean,
mean,
it could be just a legal reason.
What's that?
Could be a legal reason.
For what?
Well,
a legal reason.
yeah, for not getting married. Because in the West, you have what's called communal rights.
Right.
Yes.
So what that means is the minute you get married, And if
you have no
choose,
prenup.
if you choose to divorce, then there's a significant, counting that goes into it where you have to split your assets.
Yep.
So a lot of people say, well, okay, why even have that prenup conversation? Well, just won't get married. We'll just have,
Yeah. Well, this is part of it, but like imagine if you didn't know anything about that person that could annoy you. Like when you know somebody's like this is the thing about marriage that makes it possible. A lot of times people are like, "Oh, your marriage is so difficult." Yeah, but it is supposed to be work. It's supposed to be difficult. And when you know what you're accepting as far as the difficulty level, you're like, "Oh, so he's a freaking crack addict. Yeah, he's F tier motherfucker that I'm gonna have to marry, but I love him because he's this, and this, and this. I'm willing. Yeah, what exactly? I love this. The top of your priority.
Yes, sir.
You've revealed your age to me, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you're that kind of a person and that's what you want to accept, that's your trade off. You're saying I'm gonna take big dick because I value big dick, and I don't mind all these other things. Then yes, your relationship is something you're willing to work on and accept and go through. But if you don't know, you're paying for an expensive lottery ticket and you don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Khalid.
He said, Matruk said he's probably the furthest from marriage in this group, but I think I'm the one. Because I don't even want to get married.
Bro, like I think we're just in the same like position. We just don't want to get married
because of what happened to my parents. Right in the Philippines, there's no divorce. You can't get divorced.
Right, because it's
Catholic, right?
Yeah, it's a very conservative country. Yeah.
If they were allowed to divorce, my mom was allowed to divorce my dad, I would be an American right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And, that's like fucked me up so much.
I can understand that, yeah.
So I feel like I don't want to go through that.
So how do they do it for Muslims in the Philippines? Because Muslims are supposed to be allowed to have divorces, right? Or is it just for Catholics they're not allowed to?
I have no idea because the Muslims are in the south.
Yeah.
Mindanao, it's like
right?
Yeah. It's like a different area. I don't know anything about that.
All right, fair enough. I'd like to know, actually. No, it's all right. So you're not expected to represent your home. That would be racist of me to assume that.
It'd be interesting to know if they have like an autonomous legal system.
Yeah.
Like they have their own special...
Probably, right?
I don't want to say that I read that, but it sounds familiar.
Well, if anybody knows, let us know. We'll look into it ourselves.
Yeah, please, any lawyers out there, possibly.
Specifically, Filipino-based Mindanao lawyers, because we know you're listening to the show, right?
The thing about marriage, I'm noticing nowadays a lot of younger people my age are getting married.
Bahrain. There's a lot of young marriages.
Yeah, and it's none of my business. Honestly, I mean, do what makes you happy, but like on the inside, I'm just saying, like, dude, you're too young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, live a little for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Apparently,
are you looking this up?
Yes, Philippines law. They're the only other UN member state, apart from the Vatican, that do not allow divorce, with the single exception being the Muslim community.
I thought so.
Okay.
That's amazing.
There's your out, Miguel.
So why wasn't I a Muslim? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
We can make it happen right here, right now.
American Muslim in 5 years.
We'll let you swear on I don't know, was it a D&D book? There's a D&D book I see over there.
Hey, so you know what's fucked
swear
up?
to pledge allegiance to Cthulhu.
No.
So you know what's fucked up? Since my mom can't get a divorce from my dad, she has to get an annulment.
Right.
And she's been paying off this lawyer for like half a decade, something
Holy
like that,
shit.
to get the annulment. You know what happened? Something fucked up happened. He got kidnapped and killed.
No way.
So the case he was working, first of all, his life, the value of his life, of course. But the case he was working on with my mom got fucked up.
Was he working other cases at the same time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was
What is the
reason.
difference between an annulment and a divorce?
Annulment makes it so it's like it never even happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what it's like when you don't consummate the marriage, you can get it annulled.
By the way,
Okay.
in Islam, we also have an annulment.
Yeah,
Really?
we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Provided you don't consummate.
Yes,
Okay.
and that means
No, if I'm not mistaken, the common misconception is women can't get out of Muslim marriage.
Yeah.
They can. It's just an annulment
Oh, okay. Rather than a divorce.
rather than a divorce.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
so. This is the declaration that you've not been receiving your.
Dick.
I didn't want to say it, but
That's what it means, right? You can't consummate the marriage.
that's part of it because that's one of the complaints, right? If you're not being, that's a legitimate complaint, concern that you are not being fulfilled in your in your marriage.
Fulfilled in your needs.
Yeah. Look, I really wish we had the cameras for this one, just to see your looks. But yeah, that we've really gone way off topic here.
Way off.
We were talking about the Japanese, and before that, transgender. We'll get back to the transgender, Ibrahim. Sorry, we're riffing today. We're going with what we got. But yeah, that's the parallel I'm drawing. When something is so difficult, then it becomes a lot less like pleasing to actually go through the process. So I feel like the majority of Japanese, when I watched a few documentaries, it was actually a really good one on Vice. They were talking about that they just don't have the lives to do it. They're cramped in these tiny apartments, basically pods. They work day in and day out. They never get a chance to meet people. If they do want to go outside to meet people, it just costs too much. So that's why these services, like, the cuddling services, have you heard of this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They're actually really popular because of that. They're like, I'm going to get all my emotional needs met through these, like,
They're like in the hour break that I get from work. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to work.
Just a cuddle here or there.
Yeah.
Just go to what do they call them? Comfort girls? Bad. They're not escorts. They're just sit and talk to you.
Yeah.
Bro, like cuddling is underrated, man.
Cuddling is underrated.
Very
I love
underrated.
that shit. When I don't think I can go into specifics.
No.
No, you don't.
No, I know. I just love it when you're cuddling, you're the big spoon, and then you slide your. I can't go into specifics.
Are you gonna say dick again?
No. I'm
Feels
not.
like you're just.
No, it's just like I slide my arm in between the titties. That's what I mean.
Right.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. I was gonna say.
All right, fair enough.
It's not as lewd.
Are we gonna go back?
Cut that out.
Are we
Cut
gonna
that
go? I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm not gonna do it.
I should not have said that.
I'm not gonna.
It's fine, dude. We don't monetize this.
Yeah, we do. Well,
So-
They're very what do you call that? They're very starved for physical. What do you call that? The Japanese.
Oh yes, they are.
Yeah.
Because they want to. They know they're human. They know they need that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, at least if I don't want to go through marriage and the cost of going through all of that, when I know I can't handle it, so might as well get a third party to service that need.
Yeah.
So it has. I guess the economy is doing well in one way.
yeah,
Service industry, right?
service industry. Yeah,
No, they don't do that. I swear they don't. It's
Some
like
of them
it has
don't.
nothing to do with that. Maybe some, I guess.
Yeah.
maybe Thailand, bro. The service
That's
industry.
different. Yeah,
Thailand
that's
is different. Are we gonna go back to the LGBT thing, or are we just
Yeah,
gonna keep
but
riffing?
it's more about it's just more about this whole creeping into politics than it is an LGBT thing. For me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like people blatantly. And this is what I meant when I said like strong female characters compared to Laura Dern in Star Wars, Ellen Ripley in Aliens,
Yeah,
Alien,
Yeah.
believable,
Bad bitch.
badass.
Sigourney Weaver was awesome.
Sigourney Weaver, believable feminist character,
It was awesome.
badass. Like most people didn't even know she was going to be the heroine. Do you know that? Like in contrast,
Resident Evil. Mila Jovovich, however you pronounce her name.
Djokovic.
Badass.
Yeah, badass. There you go. So there are a few that I what's her name from House of Cards? Robin Wright.
Yes.
Her.
Yes.
She is like scary.
Yeah.
Trinity from The Matrix.
Oh,
Badass.
bad bitch.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Captain Marvel, not so much.
Yeah, that's my thing, right? You can't even criticize them
Yeah, no. See,
because people would think of you as sexist.
the thing with Captain Marvel, like Brie Larson is the poster girl for like feminist issues and LGBT rights and all that. So they got the poster girl for that to play a Marvel superhero. So they're just making it obvious at this point. Like, look, we're just gonna bash it into your face. Like, look, this is the poster girl. Here's watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It feels just generated. It's artificial. It's a formula. Like back in the day, they'd spend the time convincing you with subtle art and techniques, and they'd convince you. I'd feel like, you know what? You made a point. Yes.
Yeah.
I am pro gay people getting married.
Yeah.
I am, because I can remember times where, because I thought, man, I swear I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, is my brain just turning more conservative because of age? Is that what's happening? And I was scared because I've read stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, that you just, as you get older.
You just rot from the inside, bro.
Yeah. And I didn't,
You just like tactfully just throw that into
you start gravitating towards Fox News.
Khaled has dad breath now.
He just kind of slid that right in. He was like rot from the
A lot
inside.
of sliding in with raw stuff today.
So what you're saying is you don't like it when companies take advantage of fads.
Yes, I don't. Because I feel like it's just disingenuous. It's going to create more people that you're assuming the audience is stupid. That's my first concern.
Yes.
Right? You're assuming they're dumb. And people just, even if they cannot mention. They can't say what's wrong with it. They feel something off.
I can't help.
You know what I
but,
mean?
I can't help but feel that it is a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
Remember Pride Month? Every fucking company under the sun all of a sudden had a rainbow in its logo.
sir.
And after Pride Month, no one remembered. No one.
Yeah.
Can you name me what I mean, okay, there was Starbucks. Anyone else? No one.
No.
What?
That's the only one I can remember that was like really vocal about their support for the LGBTQ community.
Oreos.
Were they?
I remember that.
Did they create rainbow cookies, bro?
Rainbow cookies.
They had one advertisement with a rainbow filling. And
Bruh.
people lost it. And I was like,
Really?
I was, you don't eat the cookie then. What do you want me
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, don't eat it. But there's a difference when you're talking about, like, the Oreo cookie doesn't creep into my day to day. Right? If I have a comic book hero that I've invested years in, that I love, right? If Spider-Man is going to start sucking dick, you better convince me. I don't care that he sucks dick.
Yeah.
But you better not flip 2 pages and then he's suddenly like, you know what?
Show me how it came to be, please.
Dick has been my thing for my whole life. No, I want 300 pages of character development until I decide to suck dick by the end of that 300 pages.
Oh god, out of context, bro. That's
I know,
this is
right?
gonna be
This is
gold.
gonna-
Seriously.
I'm sorry.
That's why.
But it seems like you're disagreeing with me here.
No, I think that's just reflective of you, specifically.
What do you mean?
This comes down to the fact that I know you personally,
Yeah.
and you just generally don't like it when stories are half baked.
Yeah, lazy writing. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
and regardless of what the case is, LGBT, I'm never gonna get
Exactly. It
That right.
doesn't matter what the issue is.
It doesn't matter what the issue
Exactly.
is. This is just reflective of the fact of not your political stance, but your stance as an appreciator of the arts, if for lack of a better term.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's my point. It's not just me. I feel like I see a lot of people that get angry over this stuff, can't articulate, they can't mention what's wrong, and they turn to conservative, like hardcore extremists to justify why they feel something is off. You see what I'm saying?
Look,
Instead of having the actual discussion and instead of actually getting nuanced and we figure out where it's legitimate and where it's not legitimate, these people get angry. They don't know how to express why it feels wrong. And they're the average viewer. They're not dumb, by the way.
Look.
They seem like they might be dumb, but they're not. And then they gravitate towards the really bad YouTube channels and real racists or real homophobes or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Look, we're not saying like don't make movies about social commentary. There's a lot of movies out there, great movies, some of them not so great, that do implement social commentary, but a lot of them have went to the underground in a sense. So I was just wondering, would it be a good idea to mix gender politics with mainstream movies? Like the MCU movie, the MCU is huge. It's probably the biggest movie franchise right now, the most recognizable, right? So would it be a good idea for you guys to just blast it like in your face, like here's a trans character, deal with it? Because they're just trying to appeal to the LGBTQ community. They're being very obvious about it rather than subtle.
I see that. I feel like there is a need for it. Yes, there is a need for progressive, movement in shows and TVs. But it's just like I said. My complaint is the laziness. I feel like Miguel, you have something you want to add.
Representation. People want representation, right? Especially minorities. They really want representation in mainstream media,
Right.
But you can't just shove it in people's faces. Okay, so let's say in the MCU, they made a movie next year. They released a movie next year where it's just 2 lesbian superheroes. And, I feel like that would be fine, right? But then you see hero couples in the MCU. Do they just make out? Do they say, oh, hey, I'm straight?
No.
Oh, hey.
Exactly. That's a good point.
They don't.
They don't.
You want a good lesbian superhero movie?
Yes, please.
Pornhub, bro.
Okay.
It's got you, bro.
God damn it.
But
Seriously.
you guys see my point. Like I know that there's a need.
I thought you were going to say Thor Ragnarok. I'm not actually making a joke. There's a character in Thor Ragnarok who's bisexual.
Yeah, we
Loki?
brought up Loki, bro.
Yeah.
Not Loki.
Oh.
No. She was played by Tessa Thompson. Val, the character Val in Thor Ragnarok, is bisexual.
Oh,
Right.
is she?
Yeah.
There you go.
And there's I think there's several gay characters in the Marvel universe.
That's a good character.
I
Do you know
want
why?
to look.
Yeah, but that being said, one of the characters, I forgot which one, when it was first introduced, the gay community was actually didn't like it.
Which one?
I can't specifically remember the name, but I remember the thing that was not liked about it was that the gay community felt like it was such a superficial.
Right.
Like
Too
they said,
too campy, was it?
No, it's more on the lines of like, okay, so he's gay. When's the last time you guys introduced a fat character? When's the last time you introduced a nerdy character that's not liked? That's it felt like it was from what I understood from the article, it felt like it was they took it. I don't want to say they. That's terrible. The community took it as such a superficial attempt towards introducing a character.
That's what I mean. Like, this is why, till this day, one of my favorite shows is Will and Grace. You know why?
No.
Because it made me laugh. And it enlightened me to the world of, whatever it is, homosexuals, LGBTQ, whatever. There was a good show. Like, if the show was not about that, it would still be a good show. And I got to learn stuff alongside it. It's like if you want to do science education, right? Some people are not going to learn if it's boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you want to make the science appealing, you can't just make it all fun either and just forget the facts.
Yeah.
You have to have these geniuses that know how to present it in a fun way.
An amazing balance.
And we are just in a world in general. It has nothing to do with political activism. It applies on everything. We have a world of lazy writing, lazy production, lazy
because
everything.
all these movies are basically mass produced, bro. They're on a production line. They're running deadlines and shit. Yeah. Ain't no time to write like Shawshank or
that's the thing, right?
Or all that. I actually wanted to bring this to the local arena, to the GCC, where there's a lot of kids here who are fans of Marvel, and generally their parents are obviously older. And with here, like you said, there are people that are just familiarizing themselves with not even the LGBTQ, but gay people, homosexuals in general. So if they introduce a trans character in a Marvel movie and they release it over here, how will the parents react to their kids attending those movies?
I don't know.
I see.
Like, I know we live in a conservative part of the world, and there's people right now on either side that probably would listen to this and feel like either I'm being unfair to one side or the other. Yeah. But generally, I feel like we need to, as a culture, get used to things that we don't like.
Because, look, a lot of people here, a lot of older people, parents, are very anti-LGBTQ from a religious, from a societal perspective. It's very taboo. It's very hush-hush. You know what I mean? They don't even discuss it. Some households, right? Like pretend it just doesn't exist. So I'm just wondering, like, what will it be like for their kids' favorite movies or superheroes to be mingling with trans characters? I mean, I'm just curious to see what their reactions are.
Is it actually a problem for some people?
I'll give you an example.
Well, not yet.
I'll give you a personal.
Have you? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll give you a personal example. My dad. I wouldn't consider my dad a conservative. He's a very open-minded guy.
Right.
But he's Arab at the end of the day. So when I was a kid,
Dude, no offense, but that's stereotyping.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
It is kind of stereotyping. I mean, he's not necessarily conservative. I mean, you're kind of putting me in an awkward situation here. I know. Thanks a lot for that, buddy. I was waiting. Thanks a lot for that.
I was waiting for it.
I'm Arab. I can stereotype Arabs. Anyways, so I used to collect Archie comic books when I was a kid. I loved reading them, and Archie, it's neutral. It's not very dirty,
but it was associated with girls more than it was with boys.
So there's girl characters.
I guess in this part of the world.
There were girl characters that were having relationships and all that. So it was fun. I was seeing what the world was like outside. But then they introduced a gay character in one of the comic books. And my dad just told me, I won't buy them for you anymore because there's a gay character. Yeah.
So how did he know then?
Huh?
First of all, how did he know? Your dad is pretty aware.
Yeah, he was reading. He reads a lot, online.
He reads a lot of Archie?
He reads a lot online.
Oh, okay.
Online.
All right. Oh, so he saw an article that was talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say if I think, to answer your question, Miguel, what's happening probably is that they would not know most of the time, but these days they're starting to know. and this answers your point as well, Matruk. They're starting to figure out that they have to decide: am I going to let my kids? Am I going to let them watch these movies?
Yeah.
At the moment, we don't have a response because most Arab families and parents, like you said, they don't care. They just don't want to talk about it, even if they know it's like no different than when my dad saw me smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Even if he sees me, like I don't exist. Like there's some filter in his eyes. He'll look away. He'll never talk about it as if it happened again. So my point is, if you want to look at the West and their example of what they went through, I think that is the parallel that we're eventually going to go through. When people are intolerant to these new points of view, that don't want to be inclusive or open up their mind or whatever it is, when they see things, if they're not addressed in a real way that kind of really wants to reach out to them and actually bring them over to our side, then you're saying these people are dumb, they're evil, they're wrong, don't talk to them, just demonize them. And what ends up happening is then you have a culture war.
Yes.
That's what I don't want to see happen here.
I mean, look, the thing is, I just, because I don't want to give a wrong impression about my dad. My dad never sort of gave me any opinions.
He's like, stop sucking dick, yo.
He never gave me any opinions about any gay people when I was young. He never talked about it and all that. But because my dad's philosophy is, you'll learn by yourself. You'll form your own opinions, be your own person, right? But I don't know what happened. I don't know what he was going through.
Except when it came to Archie
thing. Yeah, I don't know what he was going through. But like, yeah, he was like, I'm not going to buy them for you. And we're like, why? He's like, there's a gay character. I'm like, I don't care that there's a gay character. I love the cartoons.
But there's a gay character in everything now.
It's like, do you think I even read them proper? Like, I just look at the comic strips.
You're
Yeah,
just looking
man.
at the girls.
Are you joking, man? Veronica's fucking hot, bro.
Let's get it.
Seriously, I used to buy a lot of Archies from the Philippines. It was like he would go to the Philippines and he'd buy me packs and packs of those.
Oh, those are the uncensored
God.
ones?
Yes, no. There wasn't any like anything dirty in them or anything. But
Oh, no, you're forgetting I come from Saudi standards, where just
yeah, right.
legs was like,
Right.
I'm ripping the page out. What
Wait, question: is Archie old?
yeah,
do you mean? As a comic book?
I mean, is it still in circulation, or,
Yeah, yeah.
or are you just buying what's been printed before that's eventually stopped?
Oh, you mean are people buying just older prints?
Yeah.
No, it's still running.
still
running.
Jesus.
Yeah,
It's actually-
I know. There's a TV show.
What?
Yeah.
You know Archie.
CW style, I
I
think.
always associate with like the 1950s.
Was it called Glendale? What's the name of that
Glendale.
town?
Riverdale.
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
You know better. Actually, just a good piece of advice. I mean, I know I'm no position to give you parental advice or anything, but you have two small boys, right?
So don't.
No, seriously.
Sorry, I love you to death, but have kids.
Don't bring his kids.
No,
into it.
seriously. Like to any parents out there, I learned English because I started reading Archie.
Right.
Like that's how I learned how to read a lot of things. That's how I learned conversation. Like the Archie comic books taught me a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So to any parent out there just trying to get their child to improve in English in a fun way, buy them Archie comic books. Seriously.
It's no, that's good advice, and they tell you even reading to your kids before they learn to read. Apparently, there's statistics that show that they tend to read faster. Like they pick up reading faster
Because of comic books, you mean?
No, you reading to them
Just like
before,
bedtime
okay.
before they
stories
learn
and stuff.
before they learn to read.
Oh,
Apparently,
so
it's
if you build a kind of a habit of reading,
a
to your
habit of
kids,
reading, then it sort of flows over to them.
I find that hard to believe. Because it's just like that whole Mozart bullshit, you know, when your wife is pregnant, they buy these speakers to play the fetus Mozart.
Oh no! I think in this case, which I thoroughly believe, kids can either be positively or negatively influenced by you as a parent.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So what you do will actually follow through with them. And for example, in our household, my dad used to give us an hour. You'd have to go to bed by 8.
Right.
The only way you can extend that to 9 is if you read.
Oh, my dad would do the same thing. But like what my dad would do, like I wanted to buy a toy or anything, I had to save up to buy it. But if I wanted to buy a book, he would buy it for me.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
positive
really
reinforcing.
smart.
Yeah.
I
Positive
like that.
reinforcing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
That's
like
what he
that.
would do.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's why I have such a huge book
Why did I
collection.
feel you were going to share something dark, Miguel? You were
No,
about to
no,
say,
no.
My parents just beat the shit out of me.
Negative reinforcement.
my dad bought me a gun and then pistol whipped me with it.
My dad taught me how to do math by smacking my head with a slipper whenever I got shit wrong.
No. Wait, I heard meth.
math. No, but my stepdad, he saw that I loved reading. You know, we went to a library once, and I was just reading this Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
And then by the time Christmas came, that was his present for me.
Yeah.
And you know that shit just builds you up.
It is the best way. Honestly,
Yeah.
like parents should really be observant of what their child likes.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of drummers, for example. Now drumming is hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. So a lot of these drummers, like these famous ones, they're like, yeah, when I was a kid, my dad noticed that I liked drums and he bought me a drum set.
Yeah.
Yeah, encourage your kids to get creative. Yeah, and I'm gonna take it to English, the English language, because a lot of people over here are trying to learn English, and to be honest, they're not doing such a bad job. But the parents, their mentality is still like old school, where they would be like, you have to learn English at school. I'm like, no, English at school teaches you how to write and how to enunciate, possibly, and grammar. That's all it teaches you, but it doesn't teach you how to speak.
No.
You know what I mean? I learned speaking from watching movies and listening to music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, it's also going to affect the type of speech you're interested in, I guess, as well. You know, like if you're.
I just wished I watched Monty Python as a kid. Honestly, I'd pick up their accents. Like I'd be so good at it.
I don't think I would have gotten Monty Python as a kid.
I don't think so. I mean, there's some.
Do you remember? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
There are some episodes that I still don't get. It's too British,
Right, especially
Yeah.
Flying Circus.
especially Flying Circus.
That's
Yeah,
the worst offender.
That's the one I watched first to try to get into Monty Python,
yeah.
and I couldn't get into it.
Look, if you want to get
'Cause-
it, if you want to get into Monty Python sketches, go on YouTube, and they put their best sketches.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to watch like a full episode of Flying Circus, you'll be confused.
Okay.
Yes.
Seriously.
Okay.
It's like-
Speaking of sketch shows, do you know a bit of Fry and Laurie?
Yeah.
What's that?
British
no.
too.
Yeah.
A bit of Fry and Laurie.
Yeah.
Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry.
Yeah.
I know them, but I haven't seen that.
They were together
Really?
in like the 80s or 90s.
They, by the way, they go way back.
Way
They
back.
go all the way back to university. They both came out of Cambridge. They had the improv group,
They
a
had
comedy
an
group.
improv.
Oh, yeah, that I remember.
yeah.
Okay.
Remember when Hugh Laurie was in Stuart Little?
What?
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
He was
now,
in
now
Stuart
remember.
Little.
Now I remember.
That is like a dark point in his career.
He was the dad.
Yeah, he was
right?
the dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Such
Now I
a
remember.
preppy ass dad, bro. Like I remember watching Stuart Little as a kid and seeing Hugh Laurie. I'm like, wow, this guy has such a giant stick up his ass. But then I'd watch his earlier work with his improv and sketches. And I'm
Amazing.
like, whoa, bro.
Do you,
Whoa.
do you ever go back, any of you, this goes out to everyone, honestly, if any of you go back to older sitcoms that you used to watch as a kid and you're like, what the hell was funny about this? Like this,
I'm trying.
This is,
I'm trying to like reflect.
like to me, it's Married with Children.
To me, it's Full House. Full House.
Yeah, that too. No, that
Yeah.
beats it.
Oh,
no,
Family
Married
Matters.
with Children.
Is it Family Matters? Family. Steve Urkel.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that was that.
Those days were weird. Even the writing. You know, Urkel wasn't supposed to be the main character.
No, he's a breakout character.
Yeah,
He's a
that's
breakout character.
weird. Could you imagine if they did that today?
What?
Like you got a show. You're supposed to be the guy that got the show. The dad was from Die Hard, right?
Yeah.
I forgot what his name was.
Yeah.
That tells you something right there.
There are a lot of movies and TV shows. Batman and Robin for me. I keep repeating this. Batman and Robin when I was a kid, it was the best movie ever. I grew up, I was fucking traumatized. Like
Yeah.
Wait, it was the one with
the Arnold Schwarzenegger and George Clooney.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, the old one.
Yeah, I thought that was like the best movie ever when I was a kid. But
And then now you rewatch
bro,
it.
watching it now, it's so fucking cringy.
You know what's weird? I sometimes watch these movies just for the memory of it, not even because I like the movie.
Obviously, yeah, there's a nostalgic feel to it as well.
Yeah.
But it's way more fun when you're like just sitting, noticing every fuck up, making fun of it. But it's like a double. It's like a win-win because you're getting the nostalgia and you're
Yeah.
getting the fun of making fun of whatever fuck ups they did.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't do that for me, but I feel like it should?
What?
Because it gets a lot of criticism. Friends.
Oh,
The show Friends?
Friends.
A lot of people hate that shit, but I grew up on it and I still love it. Even
I don't
today.
hate it. I just can't handle like. It's funny. I have a love-hate thing with it. When I watch it, I actually still laugh. So the comedy is
Yeah.
still solid.
Yeah.
Right. Their performances are spot on. But there's something about. I think there was a period in my life where there was so many people watching it
Yeah.
that it just seared the thought of ever wanting
It's
to.
just like Game of Thrones
Well, not even.
and Rick and Morty.
No, but that's not the same. What I'm talking about is like I've literally we're in houses where people were just binge watching it.
Oh shit!
Like, even when they're not watching it, it's just playing in the background.
Like the biggest.
It
Like,
was that crazy.
I can't do it. I can't do it again. It's weird. It's
But if you watch it, you actually like it.
I know what you're talking about. I've gone through that generation.
Yeah.
I can't go back to it. I tried to watch it, but something about it, Frank Lloyd Webber
All right.
said it best. He said, "Television is chewing gum for the eyes."
Yeah.
When I watch Friends, I literally feel like, the exact same feeling that you're getting when you're chewing gum. You're not really eating. You're just kind of wasting your
But that's
mouth.
the thing. I don't actually hate it. I actually love it, and I still laugh.
It's not that I hate it.
If I walk in and my wife is watching the show, she'll watch it all the time on Netflix. All right, I walk in in the middle of the show. I'll walk in. I'll watch. I'm loving it. I'm laughing.
Yeah.
But if you told me to put it on, I'm like, no, I can't.
Right.
Yeah. I think we're on the same wavelength.
It is.
I think we're on the same
It is
wavelength.
definitely Friends for me is definitely a background show. Like I'd be studying or I'd be working on the computer and it'd be there in the background.
Yeah.
But I was for the longest time I was very opposing to Friends because of the reason you gave, because a lot of people were making such a big deal out of it, and you know me, if
But
someone makes a big deal, I fucking hate it.
No, I don't want you to associate me with your hate. Okay,
It's different.
He has a different. He's like, everybody's loving it. I'm a contrarian. I'm going to go opposite. No.
I don't
He got sick of it because of the volume.
Yes,
I don't really make it
the
a point,
volume
but okay.
was just like for example, there's certain songs that Shada would listen to that are like, I love these songs and they've just come out, and she will listen to it over and over.
Oh, she'll kill
and
it.
over
She'll
and
kill it.
over, and it kills it for me. I
Yeah.
can't hear the song anymore, even though I like the song. I can't. And there's people that do that, and that's how I was in a circle of friends. That I saw that now. Circle of friends that were watching Friends.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's all
sorry.
right. It's all right.
That is some deep shit, bro.
It's all right.
My brain just went to the.
There's no
third
other
level.
way to do it. I
No.
mean,
You have
That's
you have
F-
ascended.
There's F tier segues, and that was the worst one so far.
That's why Khalid with music you gotta listen to progressive rock because
No, just because it's new, dude. That's all. That's all I
I
care
tried to
about.
push progressive rock,
Oh,
but
okay.
I failed so hard.
Oh, sorry.
what I think is
sorry.
like
I'm
what
interrupting a lot today.
like
I
what
just did it now.
she got at her system.
I think we should get like a box of tissues and throw it at him today.
Bro, I'm telling you, the gun. Use the Nerf gun.
Yeah.
When someone
It's right
fucks
over
up.
there. I don't have Nerf darts though. It's gonna be one episode. We're gonna play a Nerf war in here.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Sorry, so go
Better-
back into it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Dude, like whatever you want to like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're so
Like-
wise today.
I know, because I've reached a level where that aggravates me.
No, better.
Yeah,
you have to criticize.
No,
Every-
no.
You have to criticize.
You want to eat a donut on your boxers while watching
There we go.
Russian ballerinas?
There's the
Do
rage.
it.
There's the rage.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
No, I mean, because come on, we've all been in that stage in high school. You gotta like this.
Yeah.
You just got, dude. You don't listen to Metallica, by the way, great band. Just just an example, like it, okay? You got to do this. No, you got to do that. And you know what kind of is upsetting? It's creeped into video games.
Okay. Sacred territory.
Let's
for
get
you.
into it. This is my jam.
Because I'm gonna, link it up. So growing up, I came from a household which said, you got to read, right? And video games, in our generation was just catching up too. So,
Yeah.
so there was that whole reservation that there isn't a lot of good coming out of it, and there was.
Yeah, JRPGs make you read, Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Especially the old school one.
You ain't skipping that shit.
Yeah, and there's there's a lot of good things that came out of it, and I think video games was a very important part of my life.
Yeah.
And it was that there was that refuge that it's okay, you can like whatever you want. We're all gamers, and then suddenly somehow 10, 15, 20 years later, you play you play Call of Duty.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, okay, fine. I play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I don't, but this is.
Yes.
But if
yeah.
you do, that's fine. That's up to
Yeah.
By the way,
fine. Play that game about.
Okay, who's judged you recently? What is it?
You judged me.
oh shit, Miguel, what do we get ourselves into here?
When did I judge
You.
When?
I want to play my video games about Japanese high school girls in a reading club. Why won't you let me do that?
Listen, the only people I've judged over video games are just simulator people. That's it.
Hey,
the only people.
fuck you.
Fuck you.
No,
all right?
fuck you.
You can go learn how to do that in real life.
Fuck off.
You can learn to ride a friggin'.
Pay for my fucking flying lessons, okay? And then tell me I
They
can do
will
that in
make
real
you
life.
do that anyway. They're gonna make you do that anyway.
What? I'm gonna pay 60,000 dinars to learn how to fly a real plane.
I'm gonna at least allow.
Or $20
I'm
to
gonna
buy a
at
game.
Listen, I had this argument with a guy that plays a lot of simulators. Okay, the only game I did allow was flight simulators. Just FYI. Nobody uses FYI anymore, but still, fuck you. In any case, what I was saying is that flight simulators, at least they started off because they were part of the training programs that were part of flight schools and everything else. So I allow that one, right? But you cannot explain Farm Simulator to me.
How dare you?
How dare you,
sir?
I want to relive my fucking childhood in the Philippines, and you're gonna deny me of that?
You're gonna deny him VR
both
farming
know
simulator.
no Filipinos are affording those Dutch farms.
We never had
right?
tractors. We had carabaos.
But if I'm being completely honest, that's the only genre I've ever judged ever.
What, simulator?
Yeah,
I
simulators.
actually don't. To be honest, I don't know any other one than the flight.
There's Goat Simulator. There's
that one.
Car Mechanic Simulator.
What is up with goats? It always comes up in my Microsoft Store. Goat Simulator. What is that?
It's a funny one. That's all it is. It's
it's a
not a
meme
serious
one.
one. It's a meme one.
All right. You know.
But there's like
There's like a burglar simulator.
yeah, that's one. That actually was interesting because then
It's really buggy though.
I don't know if I never played it, but you see my point.
Miguel,
It's like
what are you doing playing that game?
I tried it out.
The only reason I feel like it seems weird to me, and maybe I'm judging because there's some people that couldn't do that, but it seems like you could learn how to go and drive a truck if you want to.
Oh,
you see
I
what I'm
see
saying?
what you mean.
Burglar
Why would
si-
you play it when you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Burglar Simulator, I can understand. You want to live vicariously through the game.
I thought you were gonna tell me, okay, you can jump my house anytime. I thought you were offering your house as a training ground.
that can be arranged, but
Okay, sure.
not now. No.
Not now. No. Dude, like fucking simulators, man. Like, there's a train simulator as well.
There you go.
Like, how fucking boring is that? Like, at least
Seriously.
Press
like,
W to go forward.
right?
I think it's aimed for hobbyists, like because the train spotting and plane
But then
spotting,
just
those
go,
are
dude. I
hobbies.
can't judge for like I would judge like crazy if it was, for example, like just that. But I know people can go and make model trains.
Sure,
go make model trains.
No, they probably do. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you think it's both?
Yeah, I think they
You
like to that. Whole
you know what I
encapsulation
think,
of-
Miguel? Miguel, you know what I think? I think I'd rather play like a Warhammer video game rather than paint minis.
Don't judge.
But
dude.
that's the thing,
You're
though.
not-
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't.
No, I'm just trying to trigger. I'm just trying to trigger Khalid
I
here.
would
I'm
too.
not judging. I'm just trying to trigger
That's the
him.
thing. I play both, bro.
I play both, bro.
That's the thing, though. I would too, but they don't make them. That's
They
the
don't
big,
make Warhammer video
it.
games?
No,
You don't
Like,
like Total War Warhammer?
but that's fantasy. I don't play fantasy.
I don't wait.
The
they don't-
40k ones, they don't. The 40k ones are notoriously known for not representing the tabletop. That's why people didn't get into them as much as
All right.
Total War for fantasy does an amazing job.
Amazing.
Amazing job. So many people want a 40k version, the sci-fi version of that game. They want it done by Total War, but we never had it. We've had other good ones like Gothic Fleet, but this is getting really geeky and gamey right now. But that's my point, is that is probably the only criticism I'll ever have of people when I'm being judgmental.
For
That's all.
the simulators.
Simulators, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'd love to have an episode on what do you call it? The Warhammer.
Yeah?
I've been telling
Yeah, I
you
would.
guys.
All right,
I
you
would
do it.
I'm like unfamiliar with this shit.
I
so,
would
like,
because I feel like there's
Tabletop.
a whole universe. And
You mean about the story? Or you mean about the game?
in general, because
You
that
want to
would
talk about the finances. You want to hear
Yes,
that's what you
yes.
want to do.
Oh, because the big thing with Warhammer is that there's a lot of really unique characters.
Yeah, but
With great backstory.
man, I wish
makes a lot of money.
That's one of it, but
Can we-
this is the angle he wants. He knows because he looked into the shares recently when I first got into the hobby. Dude, they are making crazy money,
bro.
insane money.
Bro, remember when I first told you about it? When I showed you the stock
Yeah.
price? Dude, it went up. It went up.
Again,
I feel like we missed the boat on that
I'm
one.
so sorry. I should have
feel
said
like-
yes.
Yeah.
I should have said yes.
So we need to do an episode.
All right, fair enough.
We need to do an episode.
All right, can I just ask one last question because we're at an hour and I know we have to wrap up early today.
yeah, shorter episode today.
Better, you said that people judge in video games, and you've had people do that, and they get very tribal, and like compared to our generation.
Sure.
Is there anything that you play right now that you feel judged on, like, or even in the last couple of years? Like, where is this anger coming from, Better?
I remember because for those that don't know, me and Khalid are the same age, so
Yeah.
we went to the same high school, and we can't seem to get rid of each other.
I've been trying.
But believe me, feelings mutual, sir.
Yeah, okay.
So within our group, we have people that are younger than us, like Metruk over here,
Yes.
as you can tell from his rage.
You were the one raging today, bro.
Hey, respect your elders.
Old men are talking.
Respect your elders. Yeah?
I wasn't raging. I was very calm today.
Somebody is on his way to not get a cookie today. Yeah?
This is... Why are you being such a dad with me right now?
So within our group, we have these other friends who are younger than us, and I heard something that kind of annoyed me, which is I play Overwatch.
Yeah.
I like Overwatch.
Yeah.
And something on the lines of come on, Overwatch. Yeah, that's
Who's this? Don't know without naming names, but what do they play? Who are they?
No, I want you to name the name.
actually. You know what? I'll tell you what he does play. Maybe there's some sort of correlation.
Is it Counter Strike?
No, Dota.
Yeah, but Dota is notoriously elitist. They're known for
Oh
that.
my dude!
That's literally the main reason you play Dota.
Yeah.
What kind of took me aback was I kind of expected that kind of talk in high school, but after university, post-university, you don't expect to hear that talk anymore. It's just kind of like, whatever, dude. Do whatever you want. Your time is your time, you know?
Was it meant for banter, or was he actually judging you?
I don't know, but I'm very angry right now.
Just take it as banter, you know what I'm saying?
He mentioned banter, bro. Banter buddies.
Do we get money now? What happens?
I don't know.
Okay, now you're definitely not getting
We're
a
plugging our own show.
I was
That's what
expecting
you're
him to
saying?
pull out the D&D map and try to smack me, but that didn't happen
okay.
apparently.
Oh, yeah.
It's not in
I don't have
yeah.
it. I don't have it.
Either,
raised.
it doesn't have
I
it.
need to load that Nerf gun. Man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make sure I have it loaded
I
next
have
time.
a question for you guys. So I think we all agree that people should be free to like whatever they want,
Yes.
right?
Sure.
But should people also be free to dislike whatever they want?
Yes.
Yeah, just keep it to yourself.
No.
What? Why?
I feel like that creates the bubbles I don't like.
What do
Yeah.
you mean bubbles? I'm not harming anyone with my hobby.
Look,
I want people
Yeah?
to judge me and laugh at me and make fun of me for my miniature soldiers all day. I don't mind it because it makes me a stronger person.
Yeah.
Knowing that I can resist that.
you like painting little figurines?
Exactly.
You like painting
No,
Nerd.
I do.
wiggle figurines?
I love it. I love
you like
it
painting
so
with a
much.
paintbrush?
I do. And
No, but okay. Apart from this sad argument about being stronger, what is it to anybody else what you do?
well, I feel like
You're not actively painting somebody's face while you're painting the figurine.
No, but,
You're not right.
But that's the thing. If we go into these bubbles where people don't talk to each other because they like when somebody. Let me give you an example. Maybe it's because I grew up in Saudi. I felt like people were a lot more outgoing about criticizing stuff, and then I actually could change their mind. The amount of people that were not into video games, were not into anime, the people that were really anti all that stuff, and then once they got into it, they got into it more hardcore than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about people with like big mtawa beards. You know,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be watching anime for their
Great
life.
big bushy beard.
If I just treated them like, he's that person, I'm never going to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm never going to show him something that he's going to like. I've lost that person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I like people connecting to each other.
I agree.
Yeah, no, but that's dependent on that person being receptive of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look,
You know what I mean? What bothers me is that everyone's become a critic. Everyone.
Better.
I see what you mean.
Better. I agree with you on a personal level. No one should judge you for what you're doing personally because it's none of their fucking business. But on a larger level, like for example, a restaurant or whatever, a shop, if they don't get criticized, they'll never fucking improve.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I see what you mean.
Criticism is the basis for improvement.
Yes.
It's basically you taking that criticism, analyzing it, and saying, am I man enough or am I strong enough to rise up and better myself because of this criticism, or am I just going to stay down? This is your inspirational moments with banter.
Now,
Beards.
you have some people that you know that are not receptive in any way, right?
Here we're talking about slightly different things.
Okay.
You're talking about a restaurant who has a very clear channel, at least a good one. Will have a clear channel and saying, have we done something wrong? If so, tell us we want to improve, right?
We don't have Yelp in Bahrain, right?
Or worst comes to worst.
don't, yeah.
Worst comes to worst. At the end of the day, consumerism is its own democracy.
Right.
If they keep messing up, people just stop buying.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm talking about is somebody else has nothing to do with you. Okay.
Right.
I find out you like food from Ranoush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good reference, bro. Good reference. Good food as well.
Good food too.
Looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you like food from Ranoush? Oh, that's so terrible. That's so second class. Oh, that's disgusting. What's it to you?
See, where would I get upset? That's so terrible. Fine, your opinion. All right. But when you say it's so second class, get the fuck out of here.
But are they saying it in a jokey way or an elitist, like, fuck you way?
No, there's some.
Is it a power play or is it like, what is it?
What? Well, what does
Because
it
if it was
matter
a
in that
joke,
case?
if it's a joke,
Yeah.
then he's opening the door for me to joke about his stupid shit. Because everybody has stupid
yeah,
shit.
but then in the sense of context, there, that's fine because you don't joke with people you don't know.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. If you do, I do.
Sir, you need to take it down the peg.
I'm just saying, if somebody has the balls to say that to me and they don't know me that well, they're telling me, hey, I want to get to know you better.
Khalid,
Explain yourself.
Khalid, I almost got into a fight because I was joking with someone and he was being serious about stand-up. He was the guy in the crowd when we did the Polytechnic gig. And he was the guy in the crowd and we were standing outside having a cigarette. And then he comes up to us and like, bro, your set was bad. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he starts giving us tips and tricks on how to, be better stand-ups. And I was like, have you ever done stand-up? I was like, no. I'm like, yeah, don't talk. But he's like, bro, but you gotta be like George Carlin. I'm like, really?
Bro, fuck.
Really? I'm 21 and you want me to be like George Carlin?
Yeah.
And he gets really pissed off.
Yeah.
He gets really pissed off. I was joking with him.
But to be fair, you weren't really joking.
I wasn't really joking at the same time, but like, bruh, like I get what better is saying. Like
No,
some
I
people
know.
are very condescending.
I know. I know.
Here's the thing, too. You can dislike whatever I like. It's not going to change my opinion.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
But I like that people can dislike what I like.
sure.
Right? Because the push and pull is what, is how
Yeah,
we govern
Sure.
ourselves.
And by the way, that's freedom.
Yeah.
You're free to
But-
like and dislike. That's up to you.
But here's the thing. If people get cocky with their criticism,
Yeah.
if you're a viewer of a movie,
Yeah.
you have every right to criticize that movie. But don't look at yourself as a movie critic.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just an audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
You know what I mean?
Zayani
You-
would be very happy.
Exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Everyone's become a critic.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
person. Oh, this is bad because of this and this.
Well, good.
Great. That's
good
your
for
opinion.
them.
Back
Could have
to-
just kept it to yourself.
Back
Nobody's
to
asking.
That's. I feel like though the best approach to deal with that is to just you keep yourself calm if you can. Like I understand your situation, Matruk, very well because there are moments where you might be having a bad day, maybe a bad set.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just not in the mood right now, and some asshole comes up at the wrong time and just says
Yeah.
something that gets under your skin. Fair enough.
That happened to me once. Too. Okay, go ahead.
But most of the time, if you can, what I feel like works for me is noticing, like just listening to what they're saying and noticing where they're fucking up. Because there's going to be something about them that's so clear and obvious. Because when you make fun of somebody else, it's like going on the attack. You leave yourself exposed to something. And I spend my time looking for that thing. And then I go to them, and I try to point it out in a nice way. I'm like, yeah, but you have a vulnerable point right here, buddy. You sure you
Yeah.
want to be making fun?
That's
I
That's
don't
the
know,
idea.
dude. You're far more patient than me. Man.
He's very combative.
I'm used to it. And then I go, hey, how about instead of us trying to, we could stab each other right now, but how about we put down these swords, put down your dick, and let's talk. If you want to talk, if you want to be friends, I get it. Let's make fun. Let's joke. Yeah, I'm a stupid guy. Whatever you want to say. This is dumb. This is retarded. Whatever you want to call it. But I can either walk away, and I heard your point, and you can walk away. But if you're trying to look for a dialogue, I'm going to go to the last minute with you.
So you're more of a strategist and Better is more like straightforward.
Better feels like there's no usefulness, I feel, is what I'm getting.
Yes, actually, to be blunt, I'm at a stage in my life where I don't have patience for it.
Fair. No, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. Like, let's imagine if, for example, that I was constantly getting tons of people texting me all the time about the radio show.
Sure.
There is a limit to where I can do that with everybody, right? I can't answer every single person at that level and be like, hey, let's have a dialogue by why you think my show's crap. Okay. Person number 3,562.
Yeah.
And we're
You got
gonna
3,000 people listening to you?
No, I'm saying let's assume. Let's assume I go from 5 to 2 first, and then we'll back up to 300 or something. But let's assume that was the case. I wouldn't have the mental energy to do that, right?
Yeah.
But that's when I allocate the time. So when it comes to stand up, I feel like it's worth having that conversation. Or even in my nerdy shit, it's worth having that conversation because I am trying to grow this thing and normalize
when it comes to stand-up, if it's someone that literally it's just your average audience member who watches Netflix specials and then goes and compares Bill Burr to you, that's just fucked up. Bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They can't understand the fact that it is a process and that Bill Burr, at a time in his life when he was 22, he was probably fucking up. He was probably bombing.
I get
He's
that.
probably, that just frustrates
And
you.
I'm saying just all you have to do is do your due diligence as a person and try to
And
see
tell
if-
them to fuck off.
Hold on, no. Before you get to the fuck off point, there's a point where you could try to see if they're at least somewhat at some level receptive to understanding your point of view. If they're just joking around, I can joke around with them until, like I said, they're willing to put down the dicks, stop the power play, and just talk about it. If they're not, fair enough. I can stop. They can stop. We can walk away. There was nothing there. But we have a kind of a similar mission, you and I, Matrouk. We're trying to get people to build a culture of comedy.
Yes.
And if people don't understand how comedy works, who's going to explain it to them? Because they're not going to look it up themselves. You have to kind of like win over one person at a time.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean, I guess to some extent, I do.
I think also
I do agree with you.
There's a slight difference also. I'm seeing you guys as sort of service providers.
I see.
Right.
You're offering a product. It's comedy.
A service provider.
Yeah. No, think about it for a second.
Again, they can't see it because there's no camera.
Yeah.
But think about it for a second.
can imagine
guys
what
go
he
up
did.
on a stage and what are you offering? You're offering comedy.
We're there to be
That is the
judged.
product you are selling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is, if we were going to use a parallel of a restaurant, the guy that's coming up, he thought he was ordering sushi. He got a burger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know it's very annoying, but it's to Khalid's point, yeah, it might be worth giving a few minutes to listen. You walked into a burger joint,
Yeah.
not a sushi joint.
Yeah.
So what you're consuming, what we're offering is not what you were looking to consume in the first
Yes.
place. What is perhaps I'm talking about is closer to hobbies, which is you are under no requirement to justify what you like.
Yes. No, fair enough.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
But you're also entitled to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's up to you to decide whether it matters to you to go. Like if you've got,
I feel like I cursed. I just explained myself.
I
now.
think I
No
think
more
I
censorship.
think fundamentally what Bedr is trying to say is an issue that has been bothering me, is that the high school mentality still exists in Bahrain. I think.
it does. It does in a lot of ways. And
Absolutely.
honestly, I'd like to hear from some of you out there. If
Yeah.
you feel like there's a topic specifically about this that rings true to you, that you don't know where the cutoff line is and what the value is to doing it, then let us know. We'll bring it up on the podcast specifically because I've been on many more situations where that's happened. I'll talk about next time how it happens to me on the radio.
Yep.
And we can take it from there.
Let's get it.
Guys, I'm sorry we're out of time right now, so we're going to end it. Thank you all for being a part of the show again. Miguel,
Thank you very much for having me.
Migs, Mats,
Mats,
the B-Man.
the
B-Man,
man.
check it out.
All right, this is Khalid Dossy. Guys, you've been listening to Bedouin Banter. Please give us a like, share, subscribe, comment, give us opinions, feedback on Instagram, both accounts, mine or Bedouin Banter. And we'll see you guys next time for the next episode with Mike Donovan.
Mike Donovan.
Mike the Don Donovan.
That's it. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.